Yeah, you can hear me? Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so we could just hop into it now, if that's fine.
Yeah, I'd like for there to be a recording before.
Sorry?
I said I'd like for there to be like a recording before, so like he says, she said.
You can record if you would like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's the issue. I don't have the software, so I'm gonna wait for someone I know to join that can record.
I mean, I'm recording myself, but yeah.
Oh, alright, hold on.
Yeah, so, yeah, what's the argument that you have for, theism?
The argument for theism, kalam cosmological argument, like I said before.
Okay, and the argument is?
Okay, P1, contingent facts that begin to exist have causes. P2, the universe began to exist.
Hold on,
the
hold on.
universe has a cause.
So P1 was contingent facts, or what again?
All contingent facts that begin to exist have a cause.
All contingent facts that have a beginning must be causal?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I reject that.
Yeah, can I ask you something?
Yeah, what's the argument for that?
Yeah, I'll give you an analogy. Do you go to work?
No, I want an argument, not an analogy.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just give you an analogy anyway, so people will be seeking it. So I think to deny the first premise is a bit absurd. So if anyone goes to work or is expected to be punctual,
It's absurd?
and to work, hold on. Let's say you're a boss and your worker comes in an hour late, and you ask your worker, well, why are you so late? And they say, well, I was on my way.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Let's not do the narrative thing, because
wait. Hold on. Wait, let me finish.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna do narratives. I don't
wait,
care.
can I talk?
Not if it's a narrative. No.
It's so I can't give you an analogy.
You can no, because that's not an argument. Why would I be interested in hearing an analogy?
So if I said, okay,
and,
so if I said,
hold on, I also have a clarifying question. You said, I just said I have a clarifying question to something you said. You said that it would be absurd. In what modal sense is it going to be absurd?
No, when I say absurd, I'm not talking about modal sense. I'm talking about it's unintuitive, bro. Like it's something I wouldn't believe.
Why would I care about intuition?
To demonstrate. Okay, I'm explaining through the analogy. So once again, if you're expecting someone to be on time,
listen, if you're gonna make an analogy, I'm just not gonna care to respond.
Can I talk?
You can talk. I'm not gonna care to respond to your analogy.
Yeah, you don't have to respond to it. That's fine. So
okay, yeah, it's not gonna help you.
If I'm expecting someone to be on time somewhere, and then they come to me 5 minutes later and I ask them, well, why are you so late? And they say, well, I was on my by that excuse. So I just think that any normal human being would not disagree with the premise that, things cannot just pop into existence without cause.
Okay, so what's the argument?
Okay, inductive is an inductive argument.
Yeah, what's the argument?
As in, everything that we've observed with our senses seems to have a cause, therefore we can make an inductive case that these things tie into a general conclusion that, everything that is contingent and begins to exist has a cause.
So all observable elements within the system of the universe, we see causal relations upon. Therefore, elements external to experience are then granted causal relations independent of observable mechanism, correct?
Yeah, you can hold it there.
Okay, well, I'm just going to be skeptic to that. So what
do you define the universe as?
Why is that relevant, right? Is something opaque about the term universe?
You asked me a question, monkeyboy.
Yeah, and you haven't responded. No, you're asking another question.
Yeah, I asked you a question. You said I don't see why that matters.
No, I asked you a question.
What'd you say?
Okay, so does this accurately describe what you said? We observe.
No.
It doesn't.
No, I said no.
Okay.
You tried to do that before.
Yeah,
not let me explain
so
it's not an accurate representation of my position. So let me explain my position.
Just explain the discrepancy in the analog I represented.
Yeah, so I'm asking you first so you can understand what do you define the universe as, because I think you define the universe like a box with things inside of it. That's not what I define it as. That's what any physicist defines the universe as.
What makes you think?
So anyways, I'll just posit a definition. I'm not going to sit here and do this with you. So the universe as defined by Oxford is just space, time, and matter, planets, everything that exists is the universe. Would you agree? Everything that exists that we can observe at least.
Yeah, I don't care about this. This is just like garbage. So
okay,
yeah, we don't listen. We don't need to stay universe. This is you're just like trying to go into extraneous rabbit trails with meta ideas. Like I can say everything that we observe in X has causal relations. Therefore, the non-observable states of elements within system X also possesses causal mechanisms unobserved. Right? That's the inference you're drawing.
Listen, bro. Wait, chill.
I'm asking you, is that an accurate representation of your position?
Wallahi, but I'm not going to say this with you. I asked you to clarify non-observable within or external to the universe. Which one?
So is that going to be an accurate representation? I don't. You convey a question ladder to my prior question.
You can or external to it, bro.
Are you not going to respond to my question? Because that's the question prior.
Okay, so understand your question, hence why I'm asking for clarification.
Yeah, so the question, let me regurgitate the question. The question was, we have system X. Nothing unclear, right? Nothing opaque. It's a cogent inquiry so far. Within system X, we observe elements in the system that have causal relations. Right? Something opaque yet? No, right?
Yeah, okay. That's okay. That's fine. Continue.
Okay. And then we infer from the limited set of elements that we directly experience that have causal relations that every other element within the system therefore has causal relations without an observable mechanism to infer causation referential to, correct?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, so without any reference to causal mechanism, we somehow posit that every other element within the system abides by this, causal relations without an instrument in which we can actually confer this, correct?
Wait, I'm so. Did you understand my argument?
I'm asking you a question. I don't know why you keep asking questions while you're not answering my question.
Are you basically just asking me that there's like unobservable parts of this system that we like can't observe, and we're still trying to like apply causal conditions to them? Is that what you're asking?
I broke the question into 3 parts. Which of the parts was opaque?
The first, I didn't really see it.
The first.
The last part.
The last part. Yeah, so there's going to be non-observable elements within system X, which are non-observed within relations or reference to causality. But we're going to suppose that there's a mechanism in which has causal dependencies or is parasitic upon causation without an instrument that actually can confer this, right? That's the idea you're arguing?
Wait, when you say, okay, hold on, bro. When you say that there are unobserved elements that are unobserved in reference to causality, what do you mean by unobserved in reference to causality?
Yeah, there's going to be elements within the universe, or let's just say system X, that we don't actually directly observe, for which we can say is also parasitic upon causal relation. So we're not going to say...
Oh, yeah, that's what I've been trying to say, bro.
Okay. So it's going to be the case that we observe, or we lack observation upon a specific element in which we can confer instrumentally using some epistemic instrument to, give some rigor qualification of causal relations, right? If you're going to say this is causal, why should I reject this and, like a form of agnostic position as this being a misnomer? Because there's disadequate evidence to actually warrant the proposition.
Okay, so anyways, bro, like I said, it's an inductive claim.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So please don't cut me off. Please. Okay. I'll let you talk the whole time. I'm going to explain why there is evidence and why there is epistemic justification in core premise 1. So basically, my entire argument was that based in the universe, let's just call universe system X, as you like to call it, the set of all things that we have observed that has a causal condition.
Did you respond to my question? Everything. The answer was yes, right? You said.
And the set of all things that we have observed that lack causal condition is nothing. Okay, there's nothing, zero, nothing there. So therefore, we can make an inductive claim from these specific instances to reach a general conclusion that all contingent facts that begin to exist have a cause. You're saying that there's no epistemic justification that in an unobserved element that it could not have a cause. I'm not saying that's impossible.
That's not what I said. That's already done.
I wasn't done.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. When you invoke sophistry, I'm going to interject. That's going to be justified interjection.
If you cut me off again mid-sentence, I'm just not going to do this debate.
Okay, well, I have justification as to why I interject. So if you're going to
it's not about justification. It's just about respect.
Well, yeah, this isn't going to be like a polemic interjection. It's going to be a rationally justified interjection. So it's not going to be disrespectful.
You can think that, bro. You go. I don't know how you're going to tell me what I find disrespectful.
So it's not justified, is what you're saying.
No, I never said that. I'm saying that the
fact that I let you talk
all that time for something that I don't think matters, and then the moment I say something that you disagree with, you cut me off.
Okay. Well, the idea is that I'm just going to reject induction, right? I already asked you if this is what you're trying to confer or infer. The idea that there's going to be a system in which we have a limited observation of specific elements within the system, and then we designate independent, elements within the system without actual independent motivation to confer with epistemic instruments to actually observe and give like some rigor atomization of the fact that it is causally dependent or parasitic. We're just going to use independent elements and states of affairs to somehow confer other independent state of affairs. Have causal relations without actually demonstrating the elements of themselves having causal relations, and you said yes. So why would I be persuaded of induction, and why shall you?
So you're just questioning induction?
Well, it's just going to be the case that under an alethetic motoscope it fails, right? If I say,
terrible. Okay, go ahead.
Who made that noise?
Continue. I don't know, son. I think it was the best center.
Okay, well, he's going to get server muted if he keeps doing that anyways.
Yeah, niggas weird, bro.
Well, so if let's say I go grocery shopping and I go for apples, and every apple I pick up out of, let's say the test run was 5, right? Out of every 5 times I went to the supermarket, this is the first ever encounter with apples, I'm going to have an a posteriori inference that is every apple that which exists is going to be red. But the idea is that that's not going to be every apple. And to say that because the set of apples that I observed, it is then more probable somehow that all the other apples are therefore red, is not going to be accounted for. There's not going to be any form of symmetry breaker that I'm aware of. The idea is that it's going to posit other elements that are independent of any actual motivation. We'll just say that elements that have some fundamental subsisting or substratum are therefore of the same relation or law that govern their ontology as for discrete elements without actual epistemic consideration. So you're using the same motivation for a different element, which I don't see why I would accept that. So me rejecting this, what would be the argument for why this is the case? You keep saying, oh, I'm making an inductive case. So I just demonstrated the problem with induction and why not persuade.
I understand your contention.
Okay, so what's the response?
So just to respond to your analogy, first I find it kind of weird that you said I shouldn't use analogies, but you can use analogies. It's just a bit strange to me. But
because I wasn't making an argument.
Situation.
Well, first of all,
that analogy where there's a person that explores, supermarkets and sees apples and comes to the conclusion that all apples that they've observed are red. We know, right? Because we've observed that there are known elements within the system that are, like say, apples that are green.
What's the discrepancy?
For example, yellow. Then therefore we know epistemically that the justification for why not every apple is red.
Here, let me explain better.
In this argument.
Okay. Here, let me give you some rope.
Wait, in this argument.
Let me give you some rope.
In this argument, we don't know any elements or any objects or any things within this set, within system X that can exist without cause.
Okay, so I don't think you're understanding. Wait.
I understand. I understand that you're appealing to like logical possibility. You're saying that there's no contradiction.
You're already being verbose and you haven't addressed.
That's why. Wait, hold on.
Well, you're not addressing my critique and you're being verbose. So
I already.
So I'm not understanding what's the symmetry break.
Just keep in mind, I let you talk that whole time. I didn't cut you off once, bro.
Okay, well, the idea is that you haven't you haven't conveyed a symmetry breaker. The idea is that within the limited observation of
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah. So what is that constituent?
Do you want me to repeat it? Do you want me to repeat the symmetry breaker?
Don't give a narrative. Give the constituent.
You're the one that gave the narrative, but regardless.
Well, I gave an analogy. I haven't been giving narratives. What's
the symmetry breaker? The thing that makes these two things disanalogous, right, is that in one example, there are known elements that break this inductive conclusion. In the second example, in my claim, there are no elements that would break this deductive conclusion.
What? Okay, you're being. This is what I would call being an ignorant. So the idea is that we have a limited observation of specific elements. The other elements within a system we don't have access. Hold on. The idea is that we don't have access to the other elements of whatever, right? We don't have access to the other elements of, let's say, similar essences. So given the consideration of the apple, we don't observe all apples, just as all of material objects or entities, we don't have access to either, in which we can say everything is causal, because we give this quality of causation or causal dependency upon that which we only observe. So there's no symmetry breaker. The idea is that you're saying, oh, well, we have observed apples that are different. Well, now you're just breaking the analogy, because the point of an analogy is not to be asymmetric, figuratively. Like, I don't know why you're going like pedantic and saying, because the idea is that, yeah, it is disanalogous to take the route that we have access to the fact there's distinct apples that we have observed, but the fact that this individual or this entity hasn't observed elements that which don't follow the pattern, or all elements for which can say follow the pattern. It's the same as your analogy with material objects. All of humanity have not observed. Yeah. So what's the argument for induction? Why is
Can I ask you something?
What's the question?
Are you agnostic as to whether things can begin to exist without causes?
No, I'm completely certain that things can exist without cause.
Okay, why?
There's no contradiction.
Okay, thank you. Finally, all right. So all I was saying was you're appealing to logical possibility, which I did not disagree with. I did not disagree that someday, somehow, there could be something, right, that could exist without cause. Oh, like someday that somehow there could be something that's completely fine. I never disagreed with that. I'm making an inductive claim based on all the known elements that. Wait, I wasn't done talking. Based on all the known elements within the system, which is everything we've observed from the beginning of time to now, 2023, we've come to a conclusion that nothing can exist without causal. Nothing can begin to exist without causal condition. Okay, you keep on referring back to this analogy of the guy within the supermarket looking at like the red apples or whatever. If he was the only person in existence and there was no other known element of like a green apple or a yellow apple, then I'd agree. All apples that I have observed are red. Sure, it's possible that there could be a green apple, but there's no epistemic justification. I don't see what differentiates your opinion of what could be the case from an actual argument of substantiation. It makes no sense. We have a standard possibility should be accepted.
So what's the disanalogy, right? I can say there's a million people and all they observe is red apples. What makes it different? Now there's a conglomerate, right? If you believe that it's a conglomerate that accommodates the inference or the conference of this, that's still going to be like, that's not going to flourish. That's going to be a weak argument. I don't understand. Okay, so first of all, what's the argument for induction?
You didn't understand.
Just give your argument. Just give your argument for induction.
No. Yeah. So my argument was not based on the amount of people. It was based on the known elements within that thing, which is why I'm saying.
But we don't know all the elements in the universe, so that's going to fail.
Oh, can I ask you not to like go turn by turn?
Do we know all the elements in the universe?
Do you know how to go turn by turn?
Do you know? The answer is no. We don't know all the elements in the universe.
Okay. Do you know how to go turn by turn?
So then, why can we confer that all elements are causal?
Okay, so we can't go turn by turn. That's fine. I'll give you an example before we can just conclude.
No, not an example. I want an argument.
If you don't want to hear the example and not want to respond to it, then that's fine. Just go.
No. I would just mute you if you don't give an argument.
So you're gonna admin abuse me for giving an argument.
You're not giving an argument. You just said I'm gonna give an analogy.
It's strange because you gave an analogy.
Yeah. So are you gonna give
in the store? But I'm giving an analogy and you're not allowing me.
Yeah, those are asymmetric.
You can think that, bro.
I can think that.
The analogy is
do you want me to give justification?
I want to give the analogy.
I could give cogent justification.
I want to give the analogy. You don't have to respond to it.
If you're not gonna give an argument, then your position's gonna fail.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just include the analogy in my conclusion.
Yeah, just give the analogy later. Right now, I'm caring for an argument. Okay, then I'll serve.
I already gave the argument.
No, you never gave the argument for why induction is a valid.
Maybe there's some sort of linguistic disconnect between me and you because I already gave this argument multiple times.
You haven't.
I'm giving the benefit of the doubt and saying maybe you didn't understand my language. So I'm saying let me repeat it in an analogy.
Here, what is the argument for why it is the case induction is a valid form of inference? Okay, what? Anyways, anyone else here want to talk? Let me try and drag him back here.
Keep talking. What do you want me to do? Do you want to just listen to yourself talk?
You said you give an argument, and then you said, no, I'm actually going to give an analogy. And I said, what's the argument? You said, no, I'll give an analogy.
I gave an argument for it. I don't see how you reject the analogy. The analogy is supposed to give you a reasoning as to why this would be the case.
An analogy is not an argument.
Wait, why does it have to exclusively be an argument? Why can't I get an explanation?
Well, what explanation? An analogy isn't going to be an explanation. He's just trying to help you out. He's not arguing with you.
It's not about helping you out. Yeah, I'll do it one at a time. So I'll ask.
Listen, okay.
It doesn't have to be exclusively an argument. Why can't it be an explanation?
Yeah, so Moxie, you can talk.
The person. Well, what do you get out of the explanation? I assume the explanation has some form of like premises within the explanation or something. But like, we're not gonna like.
No, he was giving an analogy though, which isn't gonna be an explanation.
Monologue.
Yeah, I want to hear you like talk a lot.
Wait, did you not just hear? Wait, sorry to cut you off. Did you not? Sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off. Did you not just hear monkeyboy talk for 5 minutes?
Stop. I don't know how this would be relevant if you like not providing an argument, right?
No, but you just said you don't want to hear people talk a lot. Like he just okay.
The autist in the room. I'm telling you. But like, someone tells you, what is the argument for X?
He left.
And you just go ahead and just like.
He left.
Moxie. Open your ears, Moxie.
Oh, I thought he was like. Okay, never mind.
No, but seriously, like,
wait.
First of all,